I bought a refurbished PS3 from Amazon for over $300, and in this video, we're going to take an in-depth look at it and see if it's worth the money. So right off the bat, I can tell you there's going to be some issues here because we have a few weird things going on. Now, first of all, the sticker on the side says 40 gigabyte complete, and I ordered an 80 gig model, so I'm not sure why it says 40 gig. Let's take a look here and see what's inside. So here it is. They call it certified refurbished on this piece of paper, but on their website they call it renewed. Oh, this is from Sosa Games. Sosa Games is like a really big reseller on Amazon. And let's go ahead and see what's inside of here. I think that's a controller. Nice, we got a controller there. We've got a power cord here and our AV. Oh, they gave us AV cables instead of HDMI. It's kind of lame, but at least they gave us something. And then let's take out this console here and see what it looks like. No bubble wrap on the side. That's awesome. So I can already tell by the weight here that this thing is probably not backwards compatible because it is. Oh yeah, and you can tell because it's got the matte chrome finish. It is not backwards compatible. Wow, man, this is what a scam of a listing. All right, so here's the console, and man, this thing looks awful. Like scratches and scuffs all over it. And let me just read you the description of Amazon Renewed because it's very specific, and this thing does not meet that. Now, it says Amazon Renewed products will be clean and will have minimal to no signs of wear or visible cosmetic imperfections when held at an arm's length. And as you can see here, let me just pick this up and test this out. So arm's length, yeah, that thing still looks awful. Unless you're in the dark, this thing looks terrible. So it doesn't meet that specification. And yeah, there's another bit in here that says, this refurbished product has been professionally inspected and tested to work and look like new. This thing does not look new at all. Obviously the top looks awful. Looking at the front, you got scratches and scuffs all over it. Now even down here, doesn't look dirty, but it's got like some kind of filth there. And coming to the bottom, of course, very scratched up. Definitely does not look like new. Coming here to the back, you can see we have a CCHL01, so that is indeed not backwards compatible, and you can even tell that they did not even turn the console off when they unplugged it last, so I'm definitely going to get a corruption warning when I boot it up. Good stuff here, guys. So, like, how many things can go wrong? And I've not even plugged this thing in yet. Hey, we got an OEM controller. That is nice to see. It is DualShock. It looks pretty solid. Hey, yeah, that's not bad. So yeah, taking a closer look at this blue controller, everything looks nice. The buttons feel good. The triggers feel good. The thumbsticks feel good. Looking at the back, I don't even see much wear on this. So the controller is in good condition. That is good to see. And of course, they gave us the USB cable, our power cable, and our AV cables. Just wanted to note here that there actually is an HDMI cable in this little baggie, which is hidden on the very inside, but the funny part is it's a 2-foot HDMI cable, so it's basically useless because it's so short, but yeah, there is one though. And one thing I forgot to show you here is the warranty sticker is indeed still intact, so you know for sure this console has not been opened. And also I actually want to take a look at this hard drive right here and see if it's actually 40 gigs. Let's check real quick. Oh, it's 80 gig. Dude, what? What is going on here? There's so many conflicting statements here. That the hard drive is 80 gig, as we just saw, but the box said 40 gig. But like, why are there so many conflicting statements? Clearly, the picture does not match up with what we should have got. The picture showed a 20 gig model. So honestly, what I was expecting from originally looking at that listing was a 20 gig model PS3 because that's what they showed in the photo, just replaced with an 80 gig hard drive. But what we actually got was a 40 gig model with an 80 gig hard drive replaced. So awesome stuff. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see if it even works. Hey guys, by the way, I'm on my way to Texas right now to pick up an absolutely massive 900-pound lot of video game consoles from Goodwill. And by the way, they're all untested. No idea what they're gonna give to me. Red Ring of Death consoles maybe, Yellow Light of Death PS3s, Wii Fit boards. I don't know. Hopefully a lot of the stuff works because I paid a whole lot of money here, but we're going to be documenting the entire journey from North Carolina to Texas next week. So make sure to tune in every day next week, Monday through Friday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Again, every single day leading up to the final video on Friday when we go through the entire massive 900-pound Goodwill lot and see what they gave to us. All right, let's turn this bad boy on. 3, 2, 1. Power switch. Got the red light there. Cool, it's turning on. Any free games? Nope, no free games. And man, every time I think about this is just like the lamest transaction ever. $320 for a non-backwards compatible PS3, just absolutely outrageous. Like this is the least desirable PS3, like by far. Like nobody wants a fat PS3 that's not backwards compatible. It's just useless. And of course, there's the corrupted warning because last time they just unplugged it instead of turning the console off properly. Nice. All right, we got this console booted up, connected to the internet, and let's go ahead to the system software version and see which software we're on here. 4.87, fairly recent. Cool. Now let's go ahead and plug in a PS1 game. Make sure that works here, because in case you didn't know, all PS3 consoles can play PS1 and PS3 games. It's just the backwards compatible ones are the only ones that can play PS2 games. So let's go ahead and boot this up and make sure it works. So I ran a couple races of Dukes of Hazzard. I couldn't even figure out the controls, but it was whatever. It works. Now let's go ahead and eject that game. I'm gonna try a PS2 game just for the heck of it. See what it does, because it's been quite a while since I tried a PS2 game on a non-backwards compatible console, so I don't remember if it recognizes it or not. Oh yeah, so it is at least intelligent. It says this model of PS3 system is not compatible with PS2 format software. Cool. And of course, this goes back again. $320 for a non-backwards compatible PS3 is absolutely outrageous. Guys, I cannot stress enough just how bad of a price $320 is for a non-backwards compatible 80 gig model of the PS3. I mean, even here on TK Oldies, they're listing for an 80 gig model is $190 with a good system and an original controller, so $130 less on DK Oldies, guys. And Lukey Games is $123, and then on eBay they're going for under $100, just plus like $30 of shipping. So you're looking at under $100, maybe a little over $100. But just like, it's just outrageous how these guys are selling this PS3 for $320, making no note of it not being backwards compatible, and people are buying it. It's just terrible. Even if it was fully refurbished, it's a terrible price. But the fact that it's this scratched up on the outside, warranty seal still intact, not even refurbished, it's just a bad sign. Let's go ahead and play some Modern Warfare 2 and see if we can ramp this thing up at all. I mean, it's gone up a couple fan levels, and the air coming out of the back is like not even lukewarm. It's almost cold, and I'm not too concerned about that because this is a non-backwards compatible PS3, so they don't get quite as hot, but it still should be warm, at least warm air coming out and not straight up cold air. All right, so Modern Warfare 2 is working no problem. Kind of expected. I mean, this is a non-backwards compatible PS3, so it's much less likely to get yellow light of death and overheat. And now before I open this console up and take a look at the inside, I want to put it next to an EO1 backwards compatible PS3 and just take a look at the heat signatures of the two with my thermal camera and kind of see the differences and see how much cooler this PS3 is compared to an EO1. First thing to note here is that this is not an apples to apples comparison. You know, these consoles are different models and are both playing different PS3 games, but it's still an interesting comparison. Now on the right side, I have a backwards compatible CECH EO1 console that's been cleaned out and had thermal paste replaced. And then on the left side, I have the CECH LO1 non-backwards compatible console that you're watching in this video. At first glance, the thermals between these two consoles actually looks pretty similar. The biggest difference I noticed right off the bat is the fact that the EO1 has much more heat coming out the side versus the LO1, but again, this is just because the internals are different. The other interesting thing to note here is that the heat coming out the back of the LO1 model is actually a bit hotter than the EO1 model. It seems counterintuitive considering the EO1 model runs hotter and has been refurbished, so you'd think it would dissipate hotter temps. But when you dig into it and think about it some more, it makes sense because the CPU and GPU are sitting much closer to my temperature measurement in the LO1 model than the EO1. And really, it just comes down to the fact that these are two completely different models. So we're going to get different thermals, but it's just interesting to see. So let's go ahead and open this console up now. And of course, we have to start by taking the warranty seal off, which is a bit unfortunate. You know, it's one of those things where you have to take it off to get inside, but it's still a bit painful to take it off. Now, there are some ways where you can, I think you can use a heat gun and heat it up and peel it off and then stick it back on later, but I just don't do that. And there it goes. That is indeed the cleanest part of the console right under the warranty sticker since it has no scratches there. All right, faceplate sliding off. Doesn't look too bad there. Ooh, yeah, that's a bit filthy. What is this? DR30F model. I don't think I've ever seen that imprinted on a PS3 before. Interesting, but let's keep going. All right, time to reveal this top cover here. Let's pull it off. And yeah, same kind of thing where it's definitely very dusty and dirty in there, but nothing. Oh, actually, that's worse than I thought it would be. It's like covered in a layer of filth here. Let me just show you some photos on the screen. But it's always so interesting to open these up and see how much simpler the non-backwards compatible motherboards are. It's just like lighter, not as many components going on, which makes sense, but just very interesting to see. And something else I forgot to talk about is the fact that I was having some issues with the disk drive. You actually saw that the first time I put the disk in, where I was like having trouble accepting it unless I pushed it all the way in. It's kind of the same way coming out, at least with the PS3 game a few times. When I tried to eject it, it took like 10 seconds for it to finally pop out. I'll show some B-roll here, but I couldn't get, I never got a video of the really bad one. So we do know the disk drive is not in the best condition, which, like, again, for the price we're paying here, all of these things should be sorted out for us. But let's go ahead and take a deeper dive here. And actually, I want to show you that from the camera, it doesn't look terrible, but I mean, it's like, you can just see, it's covered there. Nasty. Oh, baby, we got some big old dust bunnies. That looks okay, but then we got this giant dust bunny right there. How did that even end up right there? That's so random. No surprise at all. I mean, you saw the warranty seal was still intact, so we know this thing would not be opened and cleaned out. But again, it's just like mind-blowing that these companies are selling these consoles for outrageous prices and barely even testing them, honestly. I mean, like, if they had tested this console, they would have seen that it had issues with the disk drive. Finally got this plate loose. Let's go ahead and pull it off. And oh, the thermal paste looks nasty. I guess that's the yeah, I think that's the OEM thermal paste they use on the non-backwards compatible consoles, but it just like doesn't look good. It's not even covering the whole chip. And wow, yeah, and it's filthy down here, of course. No surprise. And let's go ahead and let me just give you a closer look at the fan here, because that thing is filthy on the inside. And honestly, I don't even know if, wow, actually I didn't even realize how large that fan was. I forgot about that. Like the fan in these are massive. That is a huge fan. I'm not gonna go any further than this. I mean, this console, like, got more dust bunnies down there. That's funny. This console is going back to Amazon. I mean, like, first of all, I feel like the listing was deceiving. They said it was 80 gigabyte model. They showed a 20 gigabyte model in the photo, so you thought you would be getting a backwards compatible console, which 320 for that was fairly reasonable. Now they decided to send a non-backwards compatible console, and in fact the worst console. So it's like, this is like triple market value of what you could find on eBay. It's just ridiculous. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down below what you think about this console, and yeah, I'll see you next time.